funding Planned Parenthood. He even supported shutting the government down to defund.
During the debate,
I think Hillary Clinton did because she's got the lead, so she's got very little to gamble tonight. Donald Trump needed to demonstrate that A, he could be presidential, and B, he has a message that'll resonate with undecided voters out there. I think he did well in the first portion of the debate. He came a little unglued in the second part, particularly when it went to the questions about his treatment of women and would he concede the election if he were to lose.
you believe the right to abortion goes. You have been quoted as saying that...
You know, there's a lot of people disillusioned with politics, right? And we've seen that. You have two candidates with very, very high unfavorables. I'm not quite sure they did much to change those in perceptions tonight, but one candidate's got a lead, one doesn't, and the onus went on him to close the deal. I'm not quite sure he did that.
The 9th month, on the final day. And that's not...
I don't think it really... I mean, I think people are just sort of fed up with the election. They want it over at this point. You know, both candidates clearly don't like each other at a personal level at this point. That showed through, I think, in the debate tonight. But at the end of the day, if you're going to vote, you're going to have to pull the lever for one of them. And I think for those voters here out there who haven't made their decision yet, they're still looking for some more information. I'm not sure they're going to get it, and they certainly didn't get it tonight.
That is, we have to renegotiate these agreements because our country cannot afford...
Trump is good for about 20, 30 minutes of a debate. If these debates were all that length, he might have done better in them. But they're, you know, unfortunately for Mr. Trump, 90 minutes long, and in the back part of the debate, he lagged. I think at the point where she said you choked with the president of Mexico, he sort of choked thereafter and confirmed what she had said.
It's one of the worst deals ever made of any kind, signed by anybody. It's a disaster.
It could have been even, and he still would have lost ground, because what I think people who would, you know, sort of put money on the campaign would look for is that he gained ground, and the sense that he didn't gain ground in itself is a loss. So he had, there was an expectation that he would do that. Also, from where Hillary Clinton stood, if she had made a major error, that might have moved the needle a bit, but she didn't. She didn't make anything of the kind. She was, you know, on point again.
He said, well, if we have them, why don't we use them, which I think is terrifying.
If it's a wash, she wins, because he needed better than a wash. So in that sense, you know, even didn't do him any good. And I don't think it was particularly even. I think one of the remarkable things is at the end, usually you get that final minute and you give this warm fuzzy to America and look him in the eye and say, I think you ought to vote for me. At that moment, he's still on the attack. Does he understand the purpose of that last minute? He was not well prepared for that. That is for certain.
And by the way...
No, wait, I'd like to hear from...
Well, but
I'd like to hear from... I'd like